Okay, here's where we're at. I've got 3 layers of Epsilon Pro on here, and it's nearly ready to start painting. Unfortunately, I've got some blemishes that I want to fill with Bondo, and the biggest one is that the intersection of the tang and the actual blade is not square enough to my liking. So I need to fill this gap right in here, or that's going to look terrible. My plan is to drill a 1/2-inch hole in this block of wood using my drill press so it's perfectly square. What's the word I'm looking for? So it's perfectly 90 degrees, perfectly vertical, perfectly perpendicular. I don't know what the word is. Concentric. That's the word I'll use. So it's perfectly concentric with the tang. Then I'm going to cover that with aluminum foil, slide it up the tang, pack that gap with Bondo, and then I'll be able to slide the block back out and sand that down to be perfectly square. There we go. Perfectly flush fit. And while I was at it, I filled some of these depressions and fixed this one little spike that got mangled by my spindle sander. Now, she's all ready for layer 4 of Epsilon Pro. Not screwing around with this. Okay, so after 4 layers of Epsilon Pro, some Bondo to fill gaps and depressions, some filler primer to fill tooling marks, some spot putty to fill more depressions, and just hours and hours of sanding. I think it's finally ready to lay down some color primer. I think I'm going to put this Krylon citrus green underneath the coating of emerald green, so hopefully it will brighten it up a little bit. So I just dropped it right on the point there, and it cracked all the Epsilon, and it's even missing a piece on the back there. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna do today. You know what, I might as well show what I'm gonna do to fix this. The first thing I did was shoved a steel rod in there for some rigidity, and then I slapped a bunch of thin super glue on it to fill in and seal all these cracks and to, again, just give it some more strength and rigidity. So now I'm going to sand all that super glue smooth, and then I'm going to look into Bondoing that into a point again. Okay, that's patched up, fixed up, should be good enough. I'm going to hit it with some filler primer and then sand it smooth again. And we are back from all of that. I managed to fix up the tip. It looks pretty good, but I don't think that this part of the blade will ever be perfectly straight again. And that's just something that I'm going to have to live with. But nobody will know, except for me and anyone that follows my Instagram and anyone that watches this video. Look at that color. That is hot. I think that the citrus green underneath the emerald green really makes it almost glow. And I'm going to complete the effect by airbrushing the citrus green onto all of the edges and high points. To do that, I have to decant this. Okay, so there's one side. So there's one side of it done. I think it came out a bit bright for my liking. Yeah, probably could have done one fewer pass on that. Dang. Oh well. Next side. Well, I'm not happy with this. I think I went too heavy with the airbrush, and the citrus green came out far too bright, so I gotta redo it. I'm going to repaint it in green, and if I'm lucky, maybe I can just kind of dust it with the spray paint, and that will subdue the brightness of the citrus green, and I won't have to completely re-airbrush it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky. It's happened before. Guess what, guys? I think we got super lucky on this, because this looks really awesome. So I'm gonna leave it like this, and I'm gonna be very thankful that it came out so good. Maybe, possibly, I'll add some little highlights with the airbrush when this dries, but I'm tempted to just not even push my luck. So I'm just going to be really thankful that this looks as good as it does right now. For the runes that go on the side of the blade here, I'll be painting them with this liquid leaf paint. I sketched up a template of what they look like based on the highest resolution picture that I have, and I'll just be using this as kind of a guide so that I don't make them too big or too small. Okay, there's one side done. I might come back and put a second coat on those because it's a bit thin in some places. But right now I'm going to get my respirator to do the other side because this junk is fumey. For these tentacle vines that go on either side of the blade, I'm going to try epoxy sculpt. Let's do 60 of each. Now we mix this together. Easy, right? Wrong. This is a huge pain in there. Okay, grip strength, come on. You can do this. Starting to get warm. More malleable now. Come back here. Take that a little bit too. Alright, which one should we start with? Maybe not. Maybe I guessed very, very accurately, actually. No, probably not. That looks like a bit too much. Oh, that's way too much. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. It's better to have too much than too little. Yeah, I don't know the first thing about sculpting. The last thing I sculpted was like a pinch pot pottery class in grade school or something. I think that this stuff actually gets a pretty good polish if you use a little bit of water, I think, to kind of smooth it. Oh, hey, that's working. It's working very well. If this doesn't interfere with the curing, then this will be a success. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Okay. Oh, I like that. Super cool. Now, here's what I got to do next. Do something risky here. Which side is that? Yeah. Okay, that's the left side. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Watch this. Now, because it has to conform to the contours of the blade, we're going to make it do that, hopefully. Pry this off of the paper and lay it on the blade. Okay, see, that's too long. Bit large. That's just a little bit oversized. Let me rework this a little bit. What is going on? Dude, it just keeps getting bigger. Why are you getting bigger? Stop it! That's going to cure right there in place. That was more difficult than I thought it would be, as many things are.